Boom. We are live. We are live. I'm excited for this race. Let's go. Singapore Grand Prix 2022. We got Leclerc on pole position. Perez right behind him. Second row, Hamilton. Carlos Sainz. We got this is actually Fernando Alonso's this is his 350th Grand Prix. So that's something to look forward to, you know? How will his experience stand in this race? Setting up the live. Okay. Making sure everything is set. Give me a moment. This is exciting. This is exciting. I am personally excited. All right. There you go. The race should start in 15 minutes. The race should start in 15 minutes. They've done a couple formation laps. Things are being readied up. Making sure this is good. National anthem is being played. The Singaporean national anthem. I believe that's what it's called. This is an exciting race. And what makes it exciting is that Max Verstappen got P8. He nerfed himself. He had to. It wouldn't have been fair. All right. So, for the Singapore Grand Prix, I'm gonna lay out my predictions before the race starts. I do think Max Verstappen is going to have his winning streak broken. I do think so. Why? Yeah, Singapore is a really good track for. I mean, not really. It has a lot of turns, so it's very hard to gain on somebody in straight line speed. And as we saw in the Hungarian Grand Prix, straight line speed helped Mercedes out, helped Ferrari out. It helped them get up in the grid and get closer to Max Verstappen, which is basically the standard right now this season, at least thus far. I believe Max Verstappen has 5 wins in a row so far. I think it'll be broken this time. Fernando Alonso, Lando Norris. Lando Norris saying it's wetter than the quali. That's interesting. That's interesting. He wouldn't have minded a dry, boring race. Something about this race is different. But you know what? If only the season was a bit more competitive. That sucks. That always sucks, right? The fact that somebody's dominating. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see total domination. It's not fun. That's not fun. We want to see people going crazy, competing, crashing into each other. 2021 type stuff. They're all wearing like the wet thing. I'm not sure. So every single team so far has predicted that they are going to switch to slick tires. That has been the prediction, at least as far as my understanding goes. They all are predicting that they're going to have to switch to slick tires. So let's see. Drivers are getting ready. I think the race is about to start soon. The projected time was 10 minutes, but Max Verstappen's car over here at P8, starting behind Pierre Gasly and Lando Norris. The fourth row. Will he make it back to P1? Continue his winning streaks? It's going to be a tough one. I don't think so, but hey, he might be proving me wrong. So I think they're starting off on inters, and they're predicting that they're going to have to pit. Their first pit is going to be to slicks. Now, the question is, wait, hold up. Perez is talking. All right, so they're saying that it took a while to dry up. So the team, the strategists, they have a tough one right now. They have to predict when the race will dry up, when the track will dry up, not the race. When the track will dry up, and when it dries up, the fastest person to the pits is probably going to take the lead. So that's what Max Verstappen has to basically try to do. He needs to try to undercut the slicks before everybody else to have a better chance at winning this race. But also Ferrari, even though they haven't proven to be very good strategists this year, they've shown some glitz and glamour here and there. I feel like I'm making a joke out of myself when I say that, but they have. They have. So we need to make sure, or not we, Ferrari needs to make sure that Leclerc needs to pit for slicks at the right time in order to keep that lead, make that pole position, turn it into a race win, which they've struggled to do so far in the 2022 season. So we'll see how that plays out for them. Mathematically, the season's not over. Realistically, it is. Realistically, it is. I find it hard to believe that Leclerc is going to get P1 with fastest lap from now to the end of the season. I find it hard that he's not going to DNF at least one more time or two more times towards the end of the season. That's pretty difficult to believe. Hamilton has a good chance to win this race, even though most people, for some reason, don't think so. Mercedes so far has done really well in tracks that aren't 100% straight line speed, like Hungary. Hamilton really showed out in Hungary. So in the Hungarian track, he went up there. I'm predicting in Singapore, he's probably going to do the same thing. George Russell, unfortunately, got a grid penalty. I mean, no, actually, it's good that he got a grid penalty. He qualified at P2. I mean Q2. So he didn't get to Q3. So I'm pretty sure they took that decision to switch, take a grid penalty regardless. Hopefully he can move up the grid. Maybe he pulls out a shocker, finishes top 5, continues his streak. In my opinion, George Russell is still a top 5 streaker, Mr. Consistent. They say he DNF'd. In my eyes, right? If you DNF, like that just can't break your streak, right? Like I guess it literally does, but I guess I'm just a George Russell fan, so I'm biased. But he has finished every time he's finished the race, it's been in the top 5. That last race was beautiful with a nice P2 finish. That's a future world champion for sure. Commercials are running right now. After the commercials, the race should be starting. These are exciting times. These are exciting times. So, if we look at it objectively, right? Max Verstappen started off P10, won. And then the other time, what was it? Was it? What position did he start off last race? Because there was two races where he started in the back, and somehow, some way, somehow, he still managed to get that W. And not just by a bit, like, oh, it was a close, like he was just off. Nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be found. It's crazy. He's too good, man. He's too good. Commercial should be over soon. We should be seeing the race coming. Should be starting in 5 minutes. Exciting, man. So, in terms of predictions, I do think, by the way, that Hamilton, I really want to give Hamilton, because listen, in quality, he was hitting purple sectors after purple sectors over and over and over again. It was a spectacular quality session for him. He honestly could have gotten pole position. He was up there with P1, P2. So it's iffy, man. Like I want to predict Hamilton. I want to predict Hamilton P2. I think Sergio Perez. I think Sergio Perez wins this race. I have a feeling that Sergio Perez is going to win this race. I might be crazy, but I just have that feeling that Sergio Perez gets that W. I think Charles Leclerc is probably going to finish P3, Hamilton P2. That's my top 3 prediction. Top 5 could be anybody. But I think Verstappen hits top 5. I think for sure Verstappen hits top 5. Might even hit podium. But I do think Perez wins this race. Let's go. Let's see, man. They're doing the trailer, and then the race should be off. Formation lap, and then the starting grid should go. Singapura. The Derby is playing right now. Oh my God, there's a Derby right now. The Manchester Derby. I thought that was tomorrow or something. No way. No way. No way. That sucks, bro. I wanted to go live for the Derby as well. No. Now I'm torn. I don't. I'm so sad. Whatever, bro. Whatever. You win some, you lose some. You gotta miss some. You gotta watch the others. I thought I was opening the F1 game, to be honest. They usually do this when they open the F1 game. Oh, bro. Singapore is such a beautiful city, huh? Look at it, man. I didn't know it was like that. It literally looks like Dubai. Singapore looks like Dubai right now, bro. What is that? It is greasy and it is slippy. All right, there you go. Race is starting. Drivers are getting ready. Turn 7 is going to be a dangerous one, as they're showing right here. Oh, back when Ricardo was in a good car for him. What do you guys think, huh? I wonder. I wonder what happens with Ricardo. Does he come back to Formula One? He has to, bro. He has to. If this is his departure, it's such a sad departure. He's a really good driver. He has world championship potential, but as time ticks by, time doesn't wait for nobody. So as time ticks by, it's getting difficult and difficult and difficult for him to get there, especially his moves. When he left Red Bull, it was all downhill, but it wasn't really it was a plummet when he joined McLaren. So, when we got the news that he got bought out from his contract, I was sad. Yeah. Esteban Ocon had a howler. Let's go. I think Vettel actually might cop a top 10. Vettel has been consistently good in Singapore Grand Prix. Maybe not Aston Martin as much, but you know what? He knows the track very well. We'll see. Verstappen behind Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton, Carlos Sainz, and then the top two being Perez and Leclerc. I think Perez wins this, but you know what? I hope Leclerc does, bro. He needs one. He needs one way more than Leclerc needs one. Then Perez needs one. I'll tell you that much. But it is a competition for P2 in the driver's standing right now. That is what Formula 1 2022 right now is. It's a competition for P2 in the driver's standing between Perez and Leclerc. So honestly, the top two couldn't have been better. They're getting ready to start the formation lap. Feels like I'm about to start a video game. Formula One, Singapore Grand Prix. I love Hamilton's yellow helmet, bro. It's so lovely. It's like a highlight yellow. It makes sense, right? You stand out in the crowd. Let's see. Will Ferrari make sure that Leclerc remains in that P1 position? I don't think this season they have yet to translate a pole position to a win, according to my memory. This is not a statistical read. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But I think I think it hasn't been done yet. So will this race be his first formation lap starting as Leclerc leads it? Perez behind him. Hamilton then Sainz. Alonso's off. Norris is off. And the drivers are out. It's pretty wet, bro. It's looking very wet. I think it's going to be intermediates for quite a while. It looks very slippery. The start is definitely going to have some crashes. I'll tell you that much. The start is looking like it's going to have a bunch of crashing. Okay, so parts of the track are wetter than others. You can just tell by how much water is being sprayed from their tires. That's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder how that's going to play out for the drivers. And I wonder if the strategy is now different because of that. Well, as you can see here, somewhere there, right? It should be. Um, yeah, sorry. As you can see here, somewhere here, you got the leaderboard. It should be updating live. This is the first time I ever go live for a Formula One watch party. So we'll see. It should be updating. This is directly from their website. it should be working out. Getting back to the grid, the race is about to start. Formation lap is ending. Intermediate's looking like it's going to be the tire for a while. The track is so wet. And it's taking even longer to dry up than yesterday's quali session. So we shall see. Verstappen getting ready. Ending the formation lap. Lots of damp patches on those turns, bro. That's scary. Well, I'll tell you that much. Latifi's definitely crashing this race. Latifi's definitely crashing this race. That's at least my prediction. Yeah. That's probably going to cause a safety car. Verstappen's going to catch up, win the race. And Latifi's going to be a reason yet again for Verstappen's next W. There you go. Drivers are parking the car. Getting ready. Alonso sliding the car. Fernando Alonso's 350th Grand Prix. How will he do? He had a very good qualifying session. Ending at P7. But for some reason he's at P9 here. How does that make sense? I believe George Russell's having a pit lane start. Yep. George Russell's having a pit lane start, or is he having his own little formation lap? Latifi got to P20. Let's go. Or P19, rather. They're about to start. Medical car right behind them. Lights are going. Will Leclerc be able to keep this position? It's lights out and away we go. Perez looking like he had a better start than Leclerc. He's already ahead of him. Ahead of him by turn one. Hamilton and Sainz contact. Hamilton's outside the track. Sainz takes over Hamilton. Now he's behind him. Fernando Alonso has completely gone off. Oh, no, never mind. I'm tripping. My bad. What a start for Sergio Perez. As predicted. Perez looks like he's pulling away. Lots of water being sprayed around everywhere. I don't know how cars behind them see anything. Leclerc had a howler of a start, but nevertheless, here we go. As we stand right now, Perez P1, Leclerc P2. Behind him, his teammate in red, Sainz. Norris taking over Fernando Alonso. Pierre Gasly being sandwiched by the Aston Martins. It's still a green flag. I wonder if Hamilton's car is damaged. I do wonder if Hamilton's car is damaged. That looked like a very tough contact between him and Carlos Sainz by turn 2. Max Verstappen and the Haas touching wheel to wheel. Oh. Nice. That's a good defense by Haas. And then Ricardo. Wow, bro. Ricardo overtook Verstappen. Verstappen takes that position back quickly. Verstappen still going after Magnussen. Magnussen had his elbows out, defended that very well. Perez gaining distance from Leclerc, pulling away. Probably going to have a race of his own for a while now. Russell already passed Albon. Latifi passed Zhou Guanyu and Albon. Very good start for Latifi, to be honest. That's rare to say nowadays. Zhou Guanyu is down in 18th. He had a howler too. Vettel up by 5 positions. At least it says that. Didn't he start at P8 or did he take a grip penalty? I'm confused. Nice, man. Nice. That's a good, very good start for Perez. I'm excited for him. You know what? He's already 1.1 seconds ahead of Leclerc. Very great start. Magnussen has the end plate loose. Haas has having issues, reliability issues with the car. More like exterior issues or something like that. Okay, that was a terrible joke. This is yeah, oh, man. Every time it's been a while, so I forgot. This is Vettel's last race, guys. That is saddening. Saddening. Ricardo having a good start as well, overtaking Mick Schumacher. Esteban Ocon, I think he overtook. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Unless Esteban Ocon went down a few, but never mind. George Russell overtaking Zhou Guanyu. Let's see the race start here again. Charles Leclerc just did not have as good of a start as Perez. Perez was flying ahead of him. Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton really battling out in turn 2, touching, forcing Hamilton completely wide. And then Norris on the tail of Hamilton from that point on. Lewis started in second gear. That's weird. I haven't seen that before. Yeah, Sainz was very aggressive, but it was completely legal. Hamilton just did not want to concede. I got hit by Sainz at the start. He sent me wide. Yup. Sainz also didn't leave space. Let's be fair. Sainz did not leave as much space, but how could he? Like, there's so many cars. I'm surprised the crash did not happen so far, to be honest. It's a very damp, very wet, very greasy race, if that makes sense. So I'm surprised no crashes happened first lap. I'm glad, we don't want to see crashes. We want to see all the drivers doing their thing. Wow, what a start. What a start for Perez. Here, we're about to see it in the perspective. The reaction times were the same. Yeah, but the acceleration was much better for Perez. A P2 start was probably better for this quali, for this race, because you're instantly on the inside. Leclerc getting into the DRS zone in lap 3, but I don't think. Oh wait, it's wet. I don't think DRS is on, is it? Let's see, because they're on intermediates, so it should be on, right? Hamilton saying there's no grip on his tires. Classic. Like we've heard that a million times before. Maybe a million and one. I don't know, man. George Russell still in P18. Not catching up to Latifi as fast as we'd hope. That's pretty scary. All right. Max Verstappen on the tail of Yuki Tsunoda. Oop! Having a little bit of oversteer over there. That red blink, bro, it's blinding. Past Yuki Tsunoda, dive bombing on the inside, hits that apex, and now he's on his way chasing Vettel. Let's see. Will Verstappen win this race? Will he find his way back to the top? Will he beat his teammate yet again? Will he continue his winning streak? We'll find out this race. As we're heading into lap 4. Perez still ahead by around 1 second. Leclerc 5.3 seconds ahead of his teammate, Carlos Sainz. Or is that lead to the race leader? I don't know, bro. I'm a terrible commentator. Kevin Magnussen being pushed wide by Vettel there, I believe. Bro, it's so wet. I'm very surprised they're on intermediates. That was scary. Kevin Magnussen and Verstappen would have had a terrible accident right there. Pretty surprising they didn't, to be honest. Very mature of Verstappen conceding. Not really conceding, but you know what? Not taking the advantage he could have had. Oh, Alex Albon did have a howler. He did spin. We didn't notice that. This is replay footage being shown. It explains why he's dead last, bro. I was like, what? Sergio Perez and Leclerc behind him, not by too much. 0.9 seconds. It looks much closer, like on track. He looks like he's right behind him. Am I tripping? Leclerc looks like he's right behind Perez, but the timer says he's 1.2 seconds behind. That's crazy. But nevertheless, he is on his tail. 6 seconds ahead of his teammate Sainz. So these guys are really just having a race of their own. A battle for P2 in the driver's standing. We shall see what happens. A safety car would really help Verstappen out here because he's 21 seconds behind his teammate Sergio Perez. Yeah, as the commentators are saying, which I did not know, there has been a safety car every single year in Singapore. So it is one of those tracks where if you do a little bit of a wrong twist and turn with your steering wheel, you end up on a concrete wall and safety cars coming out. Hopefully not the ambulance. Ricardo in P13, closing in on Kevin Magnussen, 0.6 seconds behind. Verstappen breaking the 1 second barrier between him and Vettel. It's only a matter of time. Hamilton competing with Sainz, 2.3 seconds in between and closing in. Leclerc losing time behind Perez. He was 0.9 seconds behind, but somehow he's now 1.5. Perez pulling away, taking the fastest lap, doing amazing work. They're replaying George Russell, dive bombing Nicholas Latifi. Turn 14, dive bombing Nicholas Latifi, and he's off. Moving up the grid. He did get a grid penalty starting off P20, already P17 by lap 5. How far up can he go? 2 seconds behind Bottas. Mick Schumacher and Ricciardo having a very close battle. The battle for 12th place between the two Haas's and Ricciardo. Magnussen leading that battle. Ricciardo's possible last race in Singapore. How will he manage? How will he do? We shall see. Verstappen lost position, right? Or am I tripping? Did he lose position from the quali? Like, did people just have grid penalties that I wasn't aware about? Leclerc taking fastest lap, closing in on Perez, 1.1 seconds now. He's gained 4 tenths of a second. 3 tenths now. That's good. If Perez doesn't take fastest again, the next one, that's good news for Leclerc. He'll be closing in, pulling in. Verstappen doesn't seem like he's going to mathematically win this race, but you know what? You never know until the checkered flag. Verstappen and Vettel. Verstappen right on his tail. 0.4 seconds behind, 4 tenths. It is only a matter of time, but how long will Vettel keep him behind? Leclerc is catching Perez. Sainz is falling behind. And Hamilton behind him is around the same distance, closing in ever so slightly every single lap. The track's still very much wet. Not looking like slicks are coming on anytime soon. Every single driver still in intermediates, and I think they're going to stay that way at least until 25% of the race is done. At least. The track is still wet, but on the straights, it's looking very dry. It is a street circuit, so the asphalt might... I think it has to do something with that, right? Like in street circuits, the asphalt might not suck up the water and dry out as quick as like racing circuits. Vettel gaining on Pierre Gasly. Verstappen right on his tail. 0.6 seconds behind. Leclerc losing his pace. Some reason Leclerc is gaining and then he's just not. There are certain corners where Perez is much faster than Leclerc, and you can tell by just the time between them that's consistently the same gain, the same decrease. Here, as Perez takes the fastest lap from him yet again. Verstappen is struggling this race. Very hard corners to overtake in, especially Vettel, a very experienced, very good driver. Still not having to be in the defensive position, but as soon as Verstappen's close, he's doing the right things to keep him behind him. This is the final straight, well, not the final, but it's the final straight of the lap. As we head into lap 7, Verstappen right behind Vettel into turn 2. Will he make the move by turn 4? He is not able to. He is not finding it easy to overtake Vettel. Vettel is making it difficult. Verstappen struggling right now. George Russell still in P17, gaining in on Bottas 0.4. Honestly, bro, like he's been. Didn't I say 0.4 a while ago? I think is people are struggling very much so to overtake in this race. Albon overtakes Latifi, even though he spun, which is crazy. Yellow flag up. That was a quick one. Back to green flag. Zhou Guanyu crashed. Oh no. Yet again. Is the safety car going to come out? Surely. Yeah, yellow flag up. Everybody's slowing down to their delta. Are they going to be switching to slicks? No. Nicholas Latifi had a tire puncture. That's why. So was it him and Zhou Guanyu that had a crash? Let's see. They're going to show us the replay soon enough. Zhou Guanyu getting out of his car. Sucks for him, man. He looks good, though. He looks okay. His family, not too happy. Yeah, I wouldn't be too. Alfa Romeo looks more unhappy than his family. Let's see what happens. Zhou Guanyu on the back of Nicholas Latifi. Dive bombing. Never mind, he actually is on the outside. And they do make contact. Latifi not leaving any space. Yeah, man. Latifi, bro. Why? That was really bad by Nicholas Latifi. That was terrible. That was so terrible by Nicholas Latifi. Completely ruined Zhou Guanyu's race. Ruined his own race too. Got a puncture. Had to slow down for the entire lap. I think a safety car is out. No. It's still parked in the pit lane. It's a virtual safety car. VSC. Kevin Magnussen back out. Switched to a different set of intermediate tires. Safety car is out. Safety car is out. This is good news for Verstappen. And this is also really good news for Charles Leclerc. If Charles Leclerc can overtake Perez here, very good news for him. But you know what? Perez looking so strong this race. I just don't see him not winning it. Wow. The commentators are saying that there has been a safety car every single year that Singapore Grand Prix has been raced on in Formula One. Every time it hosted a Formula One race, there has been a safety car. That's insane. Latifi finally coming into the pits. Apparently, Russell had an incident with Bottas. Nicholas Latifi out of the race. Broken wing, broken front, punctured tire. Yeah, they switched it, but it's too much. He's out of the race. Safety car is out. So far, just the top four have caught up. Norris yet to catch up. What a race. Verstappen has been really struggling to get past Vettel. Now listen, people might say it's because the track is difficult to overtake in. I say Vettel's just the GOAT. I don't know about you. That's my personal humble opinion. Lap 9 out of 61. Oh. Drowsiness has hit me. Verstappen not being allowed to mathematically win the Drivers' Championship. As the safety car is out, George Russell coming back in, looking like debris coming out of his car. Is this car damaged? Not sure. That looked like there was debris. Oh, this was the incident between him and Bottas. George Russell, I believe, having a lockup. Valtteri Bottas' front wing is also damaged. Oh, why am I yawning so much, man? What was George Russell doing, bro? Yeah, his car locked up. He had a lockup. I love how they drifted to get out of that sticky situation. That's funny. As we see, beautiful Singapore. Cars driving by. The circuit is literally under a highway, bro. That's beautiful. It's under a bridge highway. This circuit is so beautiful. Oh. So far, who's your driver of the day? I thought George Russell was going to be the driver of the day, but he hasn't been overtaking as much as I believe he was going to. Vettel did a phenomenal job going up 5 places. Perez did really well. He went into P1, flew by Leclerc, and just kept going further, further, further. Oh, I'm tired. This race can't be over any sooner. While the safety car is out, I shall be right back. Give me a sec. And we're back. Safety car out. I missed the exit of the safety car. Perez still in P1. Leclerc 1.1 seconds behind. I wish I didn't miss that. I just had to leave for a second. Urgent situation. Verstappen ahead of Vettel, ahead of Gasly, up 2 positions, very close behind Fernando Alonso. Will he make that dive bomb? Wow. What did I miss? I missed Ricardo's in P12. I think that's because Magnussen pitted. Latifi's out. We saw that. Verstappen really on the tail of Fernando Alonso. Alonso losing pace against Lando Norris. That's probably because him and Verstappen are low-key fighting. And if you don't know, whenever two race drivers are fighting for a position, they lose time because they're not doing the ideal things for maximum pace. They're doing the ideal things to keeping position. So you start losing time here and there. But as I'm saying that, he's closing in on Lando Norris. So I guess Fernando Alonso is just the GOAT, and I should be quiet and humble myself and just go karting like a little noob I am. Bro, Verstappen just has the oomph, you know what I mean? Like he will go out on that track and do what needs to be done to get as many points as possible. And I still do think, by the way, it's not too late for him to get P1. You never know how these races can go, bro. You really don't. You have no idea how somehow, some way, some other two drivers crash. One guy bends it into the concrete wall. Another safety car is out, and by then Verstappen's already P4. And then somehow, some way, this safety car is released, is going in, and Verstappen just gets the best, luckiest chain of events that help him go from P4 to P1. You never know, bro. You never know. You never know how these races go. Let's see. Perez just doing a phenomenal job keeping that lead. Keeping Leclerc in that 1.5 second rage behind him. No. Verstappen has been really struggling to overtake in this track, and we can't blame him. This track's very difficult to overtake in. Hamilton's actually closing in on Carlos Sainz. He was 2 seconds behind. I mean, that was before the safety car, but now he's keeping a consistent 1 second. If this track dries up, if this track dries up and they're on slicks, Hamilton might have a really good shot at catching up to Sainz and overtaking. I wonder what the strategy is right now for the teams. Do they have weather forecast? I mean, it's dry weather-wise, but track-wise, it's still pretty wet. But it is drying up pretty significantly. There are wet damps on certain corners, but the track is drying up very quickly. Yeah, as the commentator's saying, a warm set of intermediate tires is low key better than a cold set of slicks. Perez, the guy that usually is the best on the track by far at reserving his tires, is telling his team that his tires seem like they're losing traction. Carlos Sainz is also struggling with the same thing, as per the radio we just heard. Wow. Like look at that. Some corners, like very specific places, that's straight on the very wide end of it, very wet. You can see the drivers avoiding that wet patch by taking a left and trying to avoid it. This, bro, it's so difficult to drive in a condition like this, man. It's so difficult because you really have to be careful. And to optimize your track pace, you have to do certain tweaks, certain adjustments to your lap. McLaren looking absolutely lovely, looking scrumptious. So Lando Norris going on a long-term mission, him and McLaren. Lando Norris is going opposite of Carlos Sainz, opposite of Sergio Perez, opposite of probably 80% of the drivers on the grid by going for as long as possible on the intermediates, trying to gain that distance while they try to warm up their tires and then pit and hopefully getting many positions ahead. Realistically, this is how they're trying to compete for P4 against Hamilton. Russell P16 still behind Valtteri Bottas. Alex Albon not too far behind him. Russell's struggling, bro. So is Verstappen. But Russell is struggling more because he's not in the points. Will this be Russell's first race where he does not finish in the top 5? Man, that's sad to see. He's my favorite driver on the grid. As we approach lap 18, Perez P1 1.7 seconds ahead of Charles Leclerc. Lando Norris saying the tires have become very slick as it's grippy in the dry areas and slippy in the wet areas. So now all the intermediate cars on the track are basically softs. They've become mediums / softs. They become mediums. They become a fresh set of meads. So I think Lando Norris is going to be playing the reaction game. And I believe Leclerc is also, him and his team are waiting for Perez to make a move. When will he pit? Maybe Perez and his team are waiting for when will Leclerc pit. It's all a game of tactics and strategies. And by the looks of how Ferraris have treated themselves so far this year, I don't think Ferrari is going to have the better strategy. They've had glitz and glamours here and there, but will this be one of them? Let's see. It's a sad day for Leclerc right now. Sergio Perez looking like he's going to say, that P2 spot's mine. You're not taking it. It's going to be a Red Bull 1-2 in the driver's standing, and I'm going to make sure that's what's happening. As Leclerc's trying to catch up, around a corner behind him, he's losing 1/10 of a second per lap, I believe. I think Charles Leclerc is losing 1/10 of a second per lap. This helmet cam is lovely. Bro, it's crazy. These guys, they're so good. We're approaching lap 19. 18 lap tires. Are they going to switch for slicks, or are they just going to keep those intermediates as they have become slicks? Sainz is saying the same thing as Alonso, not far from slicks. Yes, Sergio Perez is the best, at least proven so far this season and last season. He's very good at reserving tires, very good at keeping them tires fresh, healthy, good for racing. Why is the cameraman doing that? Poor guy. The battle for P2 continues as they go down the straight. Leclerc still losing time as he's now 1.9 seconds behind Sergio Perez. Ferrari need to undercut, man. I think that's their only. I think that's their only hopes to get P1. They have to undercut because Leclerc is not going to catch him on track. Either the Red Bull is too good or Perez is just on fire right now. I think it's a little bit of both, for sure. I do think it's a little bit of both. Magnussen on the tail of Alex Albon in the back. Perez gets another fastest lap yet again with a 158. 158.9. Verstappen still struggling behind Fernando Alonso. George Russell still struggling behind Valtteri Bottas. Positions have not shifted, ladies and gentlemen. It's still the same positions. Magnussen with the freshest set of tires on the grid. Still not moving up positions, but he is closing in on Alex Albon. In slow motion, bro, the car looks like it's gonna break down. There's just too much movement. Verstappen on the tail of Fernando Alonso. Is he finally going to overtake? Will the move finally be efficient? Let's see. As they're going into turn 8. Turn 9, I mean. Sorry. Going down the straight. He just can't. After those turns, he's not being able to translate that pace he has with the Red Bull to an overtake. He's having very similar issues as when he was trying to tail Vettel, or not tail, overtake Vettel. Man, yeah, Verstappen now 1 second behind. It's very tough, bro. It's very tough. I guess Singapore is just a tough track to overtake him. That's what it's looking like. Verstappen's struggling big time to overtake Fernando Alonso. He's not having a good time. Reminiscent of earlier on in the race when he was following Vettel, couldn't do anything then. We'll see. Up. What up, guys? Something crashed. Verstappen saying there's a massive lag on the upshift. Positions have remained the same since the safety car, or since the position change post safety car. Verstappen going up 2 positions. And I believe Ricciardo also going up 1 position. So is everybody under him, as Magnussen pitted for a fresher set of intermediates. When are we going to see the drivers go into the pit lane? Or are they going to go into the pit lane? Is the track dry enough yet? Alonso has a faster sector 1 than Verstappen. Or is that Norris? Ocon still in P14, up 3 positions. Bottas keeping his P15 intact. Ricciardo up 4 positions as he did start P16 in the quali session. Alonso asking his team if there's a drier racing line on the track. Alonso confirming that it's probably going to take a long while in this race. Probably 15 more laps till the new slicks. Perez beats his fastest lap yet again by 4/10. He's flying. Leclerc now 2.7 seconds behind Perez. My prediction before the race started was so accurate. I said Perez is going to win this race. But I also did say Hamilton's going to get P2. That's very inaccurate. Or P3, sorry. Or P2. I don't know what I said. But I did predict him to be on the podium. Sainz getting 2-minute laps. The average lap seems to be around 2 minutes in this track right now. Mercedes getting ready to pit. Perez looking like he's going to pit soon. Coming out ahead of Alonso. Leclerc needs to undercut him. I really do think that Leclerc needs to undercut him. I think there's no other way. There's no other way. Leclerc is struggling. He's 3.2 seconds behind now. This is not good for him. Yellow flag. Yellow flag. What happened? Yellow flag in Sector 2. Ricardo overtook Tsunoda. I'm pretty sure that's because of the crash. Did Tsunoda crash? Fernando Alonso crashed. No! Oh, that was I didn't notice. Oh no, he didn't crash. The engine just died. Why? Come on. That sucks. His 350th Grand Prix, man. His 350th Grand Prix in Sector 2 of lap 22. 2022 in Sector 2 of lap 22. How crazy is that? And his 350th race. Engine cuts out. Verstappen goes through. On to the next as he parks his car. Yellow flag is out. Will there be a safety car until the car comes out? We shall see. This is good news for Leclerc. If he can pit now and a safety car comes out. Tsunoda also having a howler. As Aston Martin drifts past him, I think Tsunoda... Man, AlphaTauri has been having reliability issues like crazy this season. And it's been weighing on Yuki Tsunoda's career. George Russell is in the pit. Russell is struggling. So this pit is probably good for him. Put him on slicks. He has mediums on. He is the first guy with slicks on the track. Let's see how this translates to positions. P17, let's see what happens. Virtual safety car is out. Will an actual safety car come out? This could completely change the outcome of the race. Verstappen is in P6. Already sliding down the first corner outside the pit lane. George Russell struggling. Hey, Dan Rye, what's up? How are you? What? Dan Rye says, hey, peeps. How are you, buddy? Sorry, I'm yelling. Crazy stuff's happening. Sorry. We've seen 3 DNFs so far. Latifi, as I predicted. Zhou Guanyu, unfortunately, because of Latifi not knowing how to leave space, squeezing him into the wall. Alonso's engine went out when he had a very fantastic race. He was in P6, remaining his quality position. Good man, just catching up on the race. Man, it's a lovely race. It's a lovely race. It was very stale, but things instantly took a switch, and now it's becoming drier. George Russell was the first to put on slicks. He slipped and started drifting on the first corner outside the pit stop. So he's struggling for sure. Saying no grip. There's still wet damps on certain corners. Before Fernando Alonso DNF'd, he did say there are certain lines that are better for the slicks, and he was thinking of switching. Everybody else still on the Inter's virtual safety car is out. There will be no safety car. There will be no safety car. Hamilton right behind Sainz, catching up. Oh my God. Who would have saw this coming? Hamilton for the podium. Let's see. Hamilton moving up close. Perez still pulling away. Verstappen with a purple sector 1. Verstappen found some pace. He probably has space between him and Norris. That's probably most likely why. Hamilton still closing in on Sainz. Sainz needs to be careful. Sainz needs to change his line. Verstappen 2 seconds behind Norris and closing in. 1.9, 1/10 already gained as I was speaking. Couldn't even finish my sentence. Vettel ahead of his teammate by 7.7 seconds. Norris 8.7 seconds behind Hamilton. Sainz leagues behind the top two. And Perez and Leclerc still fighting for that P2 position in the driver's standing. P1 on track position. Hamilton closing in, 0.8 seconds behind Sainz. DRS is not enabled though for this race. At least for now. Until the FIA maybe change their opinion. We shall see how slicks perform with George Russell. He's out now with slicks. It should be warm enough in a lap or two. We shall see if their pace is better than the intermediates. I guess they have to try something, you know. He was stuck behind Bottas, couldn't overtake. It really puts into perspective. Verstappen with the fastest lap. Verstappen with the fastest lap. As I was saying, with a 158.3, beating his teammate by... Was that a second? No, it was 0.2, right? Anyways, I was saying it really puts into perspective Sergio Perez's win in 2020 when he went from last to first in this track, right? It was this track, right? Listen, I might be completely tripping, but I'm pretty sure it's this track. Dan Rye, thank you for the subscription. Why didn't it pop up for you? It should have popped up that you subscribed. I'm sorry it didn't. But thank you for the subscription. Here, I'll make it pop up. Wait, will it say your name? Yeah, it won't. Thank you for the subscription, buddy. Yeah, George Russell is struggling. There you go. It popped up. It popped up. Thank you, Dan Wright, for the subscription. It appeared on my phone before it appeared on the stream. So yeah, thank you, buddy, for subscribing. I appreciate that so much. No worries, man. Liking the commentary. Appreciate that, man. It's my first time doing a watch party, so we're trying. Some people, you know, they just can't watch the race. I have it a bit delayed as well. So the leaderboard here, as you can see, right here, is going to be faster if somebody overtakes than when I announce it, because I can't see it, but you can. I don't know, bro. Maybe lag not just affecting F1. Exactly. Exactly. All right, let's see. Leclerc is now 3 seconds behind Perez. Perez really looking like he's going to win this race, as I predicted. I think debris just fell off Norris's car. Was that debris? I'm pretty sure that was debris. Is Norris's car okay? Verstappen from 2 seconds behind Norris to now 0.9 seconds behind. Wow. He's flying. Perez took back his fastest lap time, but Verstappen's probably going to take it again very soon. The intermediates have basically become slicks. But Russell is struggling on the mediums. He's very much struggling on the mediums. He was 17 seconds behind Alex Albon. Now he's 24 seconds behind Alex Albon. Not going too well for him. Esteban Ocon 0.9 behind Tsunoda and closing in very slowly but very surely. Verstappen is now on the tail of Norris. He's very much charging through the track. He was struggling in the beginning, but as soon as Fernando Alonso moved out the way with his engine failure, he's now catching up. Let's see if Norris will put up as much of a fight as Vettel and Fernando Alonso did, or will Verstappen just go by him, breeze by like no problem. Perez breaking his fastest lap yet again with a 158.1. Oh no, Alex Albon crashed into the wall. A safety car is definitely going to come out, and that's good news for Leclerc. Will anyone pit? Yellow flag. He completely lost his front wing. Green flag. Yellow flag. Yeah, what? That was so weird. Like, they green flagged it for absolutely no reason. Front left puncture for Alex Albon. Not just a damaged wing. There's no wing. Feels like I'm playing a video game right now. Russell finally gained the position. Let's see. Let's see what happens next. Feels like a video game, like an F1 2022 when I just crash into a wall. Wheels locked up, and he just hit the wall. Okay, it wasn't a bad enough crash for us to be worried about his... Like, he's fine. He's good. Thank God. Yeah, there was a huge amount of understeer, and he just couldn't complete that turn, and he hit the wall. VSC is out right now, but I really thought that a safety car is gonna come out for this. I guess not. Anybody pitting? Is anybody going to pit? I'm pretty sure that if they pit for a new set of intermediates. Is Ferrari going to undercut? I'm really intrigued. They should. I feel like that's their only opportunity for a W. Perez is too fast. Perez is too fast. The Red Bull is charging. Everyone's staying out. Virtual safety car ending soon. Everyone's staying out. Alex Albon changing his wing. Changing his tires. Is he putting on a set of slicks? Yep, they put on slicks. Oh, Alex Albon's out the race. Why? What happened? Virtual safety car ending. Why is he out of the race? Oh, the wing is lodged into the wall. Why is it green flag? There are people on the track. They're running out the track. I don't get why it got green flag. There were still human beings on the track taking off the wing that was lodged into the wall. Literally like a pickaxe just stabbed into the wall. That was crazy. Nevertheless, that's an iffy decision by the FIA. Perez now 4.2 seconds ahead of Charles Leclerc. This is a howler for Leclerc. He most probably is going to end up P2 unless he crashes or some reliability issue by Ferrari, which doesn't seem to be the case recently. They seem to get their reliability issues on point. Their strategy issues, not so much. Verstappen, a little bit of oversteer as he's on the tail of Lando Norris. Again, he's struggling for grip. I think his tires have just worn out too much. He's on the pursuit of Lando Norris, but it seems like he's losing grip. He probably should have pitted in the VSC. That's what it's looking like. Hamilton on the radio. I'm just losing so much time behind this guy. He's really slow. So Hamilton behind Sainz, saying that Sainz is slow. Very hard to overtake track. And he's struggling to get close enough to dive bomb, go on the outside, go on the inside. Especially on this track where the corners are so tight, it's very difficult to overtake. George Russell now 38 seconds behind Kevin Magnussen. Wow, man, those mediums were not the... Oh! Esteban Ocon on the wall. Yellow flag. What? So many crashes, bro. I predicted so many crashes are happening. Fernando Alonso had engine failure. Esteban Ocon hitting the wall. Smoke coming out of his car. This is definitely a safety car. But, bro, this is like the third, fourth crash I'm saying this is definitely a safety car. This time it actually has to be a safety car. It's too wild. Yeah, he's definitely out the race. The smoke is just flaming outside. So far we've had 4 DNFs. Both Williams, 5 DNFs. Yeah, it's over for Esteban Ocon. Both Alpines out. Both Williams out. Zhou Guanyu's out. 5 cars out of the race. George Russell in P15 now. Exactly where he was before he pitted. Didn't overtake a single car. Yet somehow he came back to this position. Are we not going to get a safety car? I'm pretty sure a safety car is going to come out. It has to. It has to. Let's see if George Russell's tires pay off now. Oh, he didn't crash. His car just failed and smoke started coming out. Ferrari pitting under the VSC. Is it going to be Charles Leclerc? Let us see. Perez goes through into the pit lane. Right? No. I'm tripping. As we head into lap 30. Sainz ahead of Hamilton. Did they just bluff in the pit lane? They double bluffed. But what has this game come to, bro? I'm so confused. I think they bluffed me more than they bluffed each other. I was completely fooled. VSC still out as they're taking Esteban Ocon's car off the track. Wow, the smoke that just exited Ocon's car when oh wow, man. That looks dangerous. That's a big failure. It is indeed. Turn 13. The deadly turn where we've seen many bad things happen as he's rolling in the car while standing on it. The commentator, this is, man, I really hate the fact that Russell's P15 right now. This sucks. It's saddening to see, quite frankly. Hamilton literally right behind Sainz. As soon as the virtual safety car is off, he better be flying. He better be going as fast as possible. I am going to be live on Twitch after this race. I'm going to be playing some League of Legends. Yesterday and before yesterday, we were climbing. We're not climbing. We finished our placement games. We ended up in bronze 4. We're not going to talk about it, but our LP gain is like 45 per game. So, in this rate, silver soon, inshallah. Virtual safety car still up as we're heading into lap 31. Max Verstappen from P8 to P6. Hamilton's still on the tail of Sainz. He can't wait for the green flag. Hamilton is itching for the green flag. Carlos Sainz is not happy with Hamilton right on his back. I'm surprised nobody pitted. Are these intermediates still that good by lap 30? That's crazy. Hamilton on the radio saying that Sainz brake tested him. Come on, Hamilton. Just be quiet, man. Come on. It's a virtual safety car, brother. Hamilton wasn't even right behind him. Virtual safety car ending. Hamilton getting ready. Fight for P3. Max Verstappen going side by side with Lando Norris. Oh, and then he had to concede. And now Lando Norris is flying past him because Verstappen had to get position back. It's only a matter of time before Verstappen gets back up to Norris. Hamilton still behind Sainz. Sainz is not letting him take this P3. It's a fight for the podium. While Max Verstappen trying to overtake Lando Norris. He overtook him during the virtual safety car, which is why he had to concede. He predicted the green flag a bit too early. Well, he didn't predict it. He tried to predict it. Yeah, the green light was not there. He had to concede. But he broke too much. No way. That would have been crazy. If that worked, he tried to anticipate it. It just did not work out in his favor. There's no way Verstappen gets a penalty for that, right? I doubt it. He caught back up very quickly, though. It's disgusting how fast this guy is. He's right behind Lando Norris yet again. After all that shenanigans, he's still behind him. Sainz pulling away from Hamilton, creating a 1.5-second gap. Verstappen literally right on the tail of Lando Norris. Yo, welcome. Ish. What is that? Let me get a close up on that name. I30H3. Welcome to the stream, buddy. How are you doing? Oh, it's Sedge. Yo, hello, Sedge. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Glad to see you here. We're on lap 31. As you can see here, the leaderboard, the live leaderboard. Verstappen still fighting Norris, trying to get this 5th place, coming in from the back after a howler of a qualifying sesh. Sainz still creating that gap between him and his teammate. Sergio Perez looking like he's going to be the race leader. The entire top 10 did not pit a single time. Lap 32, approaching lap 32, and there's still 0 pit stops. So this race is looking like a one-stop strategy for all. Ricciardo in the points in the top 10 right now with 5 DNFs. Both Alpines, both Williams, and Zhou Guanyu. Helping Ricciardo score some points. Mick Schumacher, 5 seconds behind Ricciardo. Not looking like he's too close. Verstappen still closing in on Norris. He's been struggling so much this race to overtake. He hasn't been having a good time. It's a tough track to overtake, and especially with the 2022 F1 regulations, it's tough to overtake. I guess it's even tougher. So we shall see. 0.5 seconds between him and Norris. Still going. Approaching lap 33. 61 lap race. Ferrari should be happy with a 2-3. Ferrari should actually be happy with a 2-3. Verstappen really struggling for grip. He's been struggling for grip ever since post safety car. Perez on the radio. Leclerc takes fastest lap. Did he find pace or did Perez start losing pace? I'm assuming Perez is losing pace because he's complaining. I believe they're just going to stick to the warm intermediates by the looks of it, bro. There's still half the race left. I don't know what they're doing. Nobody has pitted a single time except for Magnussen and Russell, and these guys are last place. Russell now 53 seconds behind Magnussen. Those slicks were not the move. Nobody wants to move to slicks. It's just not good. Russell's not finding grip. He's not finding the pace on the mediums. Slicks are not the move. The battle for fifth continues as Verstappen's closing in on Norris. Is he close enough to make a move? He's right behind them by this turn. Turn 14. Up into turn 15. And Norris breaks away again. Very difficult, man. Verstappen is really making it... Norris is really making it difficult for Verstappen to overtake. Honestly, staying on the normal racing line is difficult enough. Hamilton now closing in on Sainz after losing a lot of time between him and Sainz. Verstappen looking like he can't win anymore. I feel like the hopes and dreams of 26 of 6 races in a row won, looking like it's going down the drain. I think so, at least. Mick Schumacher gaining time on Danny Ricciardo. Young Mick, the young Schumacher. Now 4 seconds behind Daniel Ricciardo. Lewis Hamilton hit the wall. Oh my God. Oh my God. His emotions took the better of him. Green flag, green flag. Green flag. It's not a safety car. He's back out. He's back out. Now him, Verstappen and Norris. Norris is ahead. Verstappen and Norris sandwich Hamilton. Oh my God. Hamilton, I don't think he damaged his car. It doesn't look like it's damaged. He's keeping up. Verstappen now has to manage with Lewis Hamilton in front of him. That definitely could have been a race-ending incident for Hamilton for sure. I'm surprised nothing happened. How is his car still intact? Hamilton and Verstappen fighting for fifth. Hamilton, Verstappen, and Norris battling for fourth. 3-way race. Russell getting a purple sector 2. Looking like the slicks are actually finally paying off. Are we going to see the pit stops into slicks? He's kind of like the lab rat on the track right now. He got a purple middle sector. The car looks intact, Hamilton says. The car does not look like it's been damaged. Wow, wow, wow. What a start. Now I'm on the edge of my seat. I ain't laid back no more. 34 laps in. Approaching lap 35. Verstappen saying something is loose in his car. Wow. I don't know how Hamilton is not damaged, man. That does not make sense. Wow, wow, wow. Still battle for the fourth between Verstappen, Hamilton, and Norris. Norris looks like he's leading. He left a big gap between him and Hamilton. Verstappen struggling with his car. Slick tires looks like it's going to be the move. I believe we're about to see people heading into the pits. We're about to see people heading into the pits. I think Max is going to be the first of them, trying to undercut Norris and Hamilton. Norris leaving a big gap between him and Hamilton. Verstappen struggling as usual the entire race. Yo, thank you, Jade and Jess, for the subscription, bro. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Thank you for the subscription. Oh, that was a big crash. How is the car intact? How is the wing not off? I feel like Alex Albon had a worse crash, and yet somehow his wings were completely off. That's crazy. What a crash. Slicks on the Ferrari. Who is it? Leclerc in the pit. Fastest sector 2, Russell again. Slicks look like the fastest tire right now. Leclerc undercutting Sergio Perez. Is this going to work? Oh, that's a slow pit stop. 5.3 second pit stop. Ferrari bottling the pit stop yet again. That's not a good start for him. That is not a good start for him. But let's see. How long is it going to take Perez to enter the pits? 25 seconds. That's a nasty pit. Yeah, man. That sucks. Hamilton is in the pits. Also slicks. A set of mediums. Hopping in. Vettel in the pits. Also slicks. Everybody switching to slicks. Russell has fastest lap right now. You got a purple sector 1. Ricardo, P7, still on inters. So far, we got Norris, Verstappen, Stroll, Ricardo still out, not pitting. Sainz, Perez still out, not pitting. Hamilton exiting. Vettel exiting. Wow. This changes things. Leclerc is now on Meads in P3. Perez is going for the overcut, while Leclerc is going for the undercut. Let's see. Oh, Leclerc stopped past his mark, so that's why the pit stop was 3 seconds slower than it should have been. Perez getting boxed. Perez pitting is not overcutting. The undercut might work for Leclerc. If Perez messes up the pit stop, or if the team messes up the pit stop, let's see. George Russell yet again with another fastest lap. Nope, that was a perfect pit stop, as expected. 2.8 seconds. Yeah. He comes out way ahead of Leclerc. It's looking very good for Perez. Sainz also pits, in for slicks. Verstappen looks like he's struggling, man. It looks like he's not going to be getting this. Verstappen being told to box opposite Norris, so they're not going for the P1, P2, P3 position anymore. Verstappen P5 right now in the pit. Norris stayed out. Verstappen getting in the slicks. Very good pit stop. Yellow flag. Yellow flag. What happened? The AlphaTauri, Yuki Tsunoda, into the barriers. Safety car. Very good for Leclerc. Very good for Leclerc. This would have been way better if he pitted during the safety car. But nevertheless, very good for Leclerc. Very good for Leclerc. Crashed on turn 11. Or turn 10, I believe. Yuki Tsunoda pissed, rightfully so. Safety car is out. Safety car is out. Verstappen now is definitely going to be P5. Ricardo and Norris should pit right now. P5, P3. Both on inters. If they pit right now, let's see where they come out. Stroll is 17 seconds behind. 19 behind Verstappen. So they should be able to come out in a very, very high position. This is a very good chance for them. Yuki Tsunoda, yeah, completely destroyed his car. He was going way too fast into the barriers. He looks okay, though. Mercedes mechanics out in the pit lane. Let's see. Wow. All right. So, safety car. Let's see what's going to happen. Leclerc, this is Leclerc's chance to get this W because it was slipping away from his hands the whole race. We got 6 DNFs so far. Both Williams, both Alpines, AlphaTauri, Zhou Guanyu. from the Alfa Romeo. We got George Russell in P14 getting the fastest lap, 27 seconds behind Kevin Magnussen, catching up as he was way more than that. He was like 30-something, 40-something. The mediums did him good. He just pitted for them too early. Ricardo, or that was Norris, in the pits. Slicks coming out. Will he come out ahead of Sainz? He comes out right behind Sainz. Right behind him. Right behind Carlos Sainz. Wait. Is he ahead? No, he's right behind Sainz. He's right behind Sainz. Daniel Ricciardo getting soft tires. Daniel Ricciardo getting softs. This might be a game changer, ladies and gentlemen. He is getting softs. Wow, wow, wow. I love saying that, I guess. He's getting soft tires. Let's see what happens. Verstappen's trying to warm up his tires. Still a safety car. I think everybody has so far pitted for slicks. Did Russell re-pit? Hamilton. Yeah, Hamilton apologizing for his crash earlier. P9 right now after his pit stop. Behind Vettel and Lance Stroll, both Aston Martins. They're probably going to make it tough for him. It's a tough race. It's a tough track to overtake. This race might take a turn of events that we were not expecting. This race has been going on for 2 hours. I mean, 1 hour and 40 minutes, right? As we're in the safety car. What do you guys think? If you're watching right now, please put in the chat. Who do you think is going to win this race? I've predicted Sergio Perez before the race started. Because I just thought he's too good and Ferrari is too bad. So I predicted Sergio Perez to be winning, but I didn't think he'd be winning this comfortably. He's so far ahead. He has a comfortable lead. I wonder who you guys think is going to win. Let me know in the chat. If you're watching, I'd love to know your predictions. Safety car is out. Car is being pulled away. Yuki Tsunoda. I believe that's... How many DNFs in a row has that been for him? Didn't he DNF the last 2 races as well? I think so. Perez, Leclerc, right behind the safety car. The only 2 cars that caught up so far. Lovely Mercedes. Lovely Benz. Lovely AMG. All right. As the safety car waits for everybody to catch up, I'm going to... Actually, no, never mind. I'm staying. Last time I missed out the... Last time I missed out on the exit. It's still safety. It's usually safety for at least 3 laps. We'll see. There wasn't much on the track, so it should be safety car for a while. Lando Norris with a huge understeer. Sergio Perez complaining. Perez for the win, in my opinion. He's experienced, and with these challenging conditions, reckon he can do it. Yeah, man, for sure. For sure. Perez looking solid this race. And he's locking in that P2 in the driver's standing. You got to remember, P1 and P2 right now, they're not fighting for the championship. They're fighting for P2 on the driver's championship. And Perez looking like he's going to take it for now. He's going to take the lead. Leclerc went from fighting Verstappen for the championship, too far behind. Now trying to secure that second place, taking it race by race. Unfortunately, Sergio Perez, too good this race. Looking very solid. Checo deserves it. Checo deserves it. Christian Horner is also paying him his roses, giving him his roses. Checo deserves it. He's been struggling a lot these past few races, so I'm happy for him. If he wins this race, well deserved race. That'll be his second win this season so far. We'll never complain about that. A Checo win is a win for all of Formula One. Lando did fight, and yeah, Christian Horner is recognizing some certain features. Look at that, man. There's a highway bridge above the entire circuit. How crazy is that? That's amazing. Replaying Yuki Tsunoda's crash that caused this entire safety car. Let's see if Leclerc can do this. Let's see if Charles Leclerc can do this. Daniel Ricciardo with the softs, the only set of softs on the entire grid. Yuki Tsunoda very mad, rightfully so. Six drivers, man. Six drivers out. That's insane. Safety car is ending. All right, this is it. It's now or never. Will Daniel Ricciardo go past Verstappen? Unlikely, but with the set of softs, you never know. Did he let him catch up? I'm not sure. I'm not sure all cars are caught up to each other. I don't think, yeah. Ricciardo is not close to Verstappen. I think they had to follow a certain delta. Not all cars are caught up. Leclerc is not too close to Perez. He needs to get closer. There you go. Sainz right behind right behind Leclerc. Norris right behind Sainz. There you go. They caught up. Perez flew off. Leclerc right behind him. Sainz losing gap between him and Leclerc. Leclerc slowing down too much. Wait, he didn't take off yet. I'm dumb. I'm an idiot. Apologies. False alarm. Oh my god. All right. Lap is ending. Verstappen asking Red Bull to check rear tires temperature. Perez about to take off as they go under the highway. And they're off. Green flag. Leclerc right behind Perez. Verstappen and Norris very close. Perez looking like he's flying, but we shall see. Daniel Ricciardo on the softs. Already 1.2 seconds behind Verstappen, but closing in. 1 second behind. Verstappen 0.3 of a second behind Norris. Will he finally make the move after the entire race? Ricciardo clearly showing big pace with these soft tires. I love saying that. It's been a while since I've said, oh, Max Verstappen going on the inside, locking up. Oh my God, he goes out. Manages to stop him before he crashes into the wall, but he keeps going. Daniel Ricciardo in P5, Stroll in P6, Vettel in P7 as Verstappen loses many positions down to P8. Hamilton behind him, 0.3 of a second behind him. That took a huge turn. Back into P8 where he started from qualifying. This is the starting grid. Back with Hamilton. Now defending against Hamilton. Daniel Ricciardo in P5. What a position for him. And with the softs, he might finish it. The race now is not lap by lap, but it's time. There's 33 more minutes of the race. They just abandoned the laps, which is weird. This is the first time I experienced that. Verstappen saying he needs to pit. No way. It's a howler for him. It's a howler. I predicted he's not going to get podium, but I didn't predict this. I did not predict this. His car just locked up. Listen, that's Max Verstappen's driving style, bro. You either go for it or you don't. And sometimes when you go for it too many times, you're bound to fail. Car didn't want to go with his aggression. And he bottomed out. The car probably got flat lines. And Verstappen goes into the pits. They're probably going to put in a set of softs for him. Yep. Softs are being placed on Verstappen's car. Top 10 now. Mick Schumacher. Mick Schumacher in the Haas. Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri. Lewis Hamilton, P8 with the Mercedes. Both Aston Martin, Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll in P7 and P6. Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris. Both McLarens enjoying that P5, P4 standing. Both Ferraris in P3, P2. And Perez is comfortably leading 1 second ahead of Leclerc. That's not actually very comfortable, but he is leading 1 second ahead of Leclerc and gaining. Perez has been consistently going past Leclerc with ease. Leaving a gap that's bigger and bigger and bigger. Even though Leclerc should have warmer tires, Leclerc is catching. I'm eating my words. Leclerc is catching. 0.6 of a second. It's because I believe Perez had to overtake Russell. Oh, Russell and the Haas had wheel contact. Russell off the track completely. I couldn't hear what Russell said on the radio. George Russell P14. Perez P13. Leclerc catching up to Perez. P2 gets fastest lap. This race is not over. There is still half an hour left. 30 minutes. Leclerc right behind Perez. Gaining and gaining and gaining. Leclerc is also very fast this race. We need to remember that he has been around Perez. Leclerc now 4/10 behind Sergio Perez. He is gaining very quickly. Fastest lap of the 153.3. We've seen a lot of racing drivers get very close this race and then somehow bottle it by locking up or making stupid mistakes. It's very hard to overtake in this track. The only successful overtake we have seen that was very smooth was Perez's overtake on Leclerc in turn 1 of the first lap. As Leclerc gets very close, lots and lots of understeer for him. Loses a lot of pace, loses a lot of time between him, but nevertheless still 0.5 seconds behind him. Let's see how this turns out. Yet again, some oversteer this time on the exit. Very struggling with the car. Perez also struggling with the oversteer. Both cars struggling. Both drivers struggling. Leclerc getting really close. Perez feeling the pressure of Leclerc right behind him. Sees him on his mirrors. Heading into the next lap. Ain't no laps anymore. 28 minutes left. A charging Ferrari. 0.5 behind Perez. Daniel Ricciardo 4.4 seconds behind his teammate. Stroll 4.2 seconds behind Ricciardo. And Vettel 1.8 seconds behind his teammate Stroll. Hamilton 0.6 of a second behind Vettel. Is he going to move up a position? Perez saying he's having issues with the drivability of the engine, whatever that means. Leclerc getting a faster Sector 1 and a faster Sector 3 than Perez. Sergio Perez struggling. He's been having a smooth sailing race the entire time. First time we're seeing him under pressure with things not going his way very much. Leclerc still behind him. 0.8 of a second behind. DRS still not enabled. They're not letting DRS get enabled. Verstappen with the fastest sector 3. Perez saying there's under braking and there's under steering. DRS enabled. DRS enabled. This can change everything. This can change everything. Leclerc 0.5 seconds behind Perez. 0.5. That's under 1 second. He gets DRS enabled. There's still wet damps, but the racing line is away from that wet damp. Hamilton also behind Vettel in the DRS range. As they approach the DRS zone, will Leclerc overtake? He's in pursuit. Getting on him down the main straight. He does not go for the move. Still going. Fighting for P1. Fighting for P2 in the driver's standing and P1 on track position. As he drifts past this corner, loses a couple of tenths. Still 0.8 seconds behind. This has become very intense. DRS open. Shoot is out. Closing in. Bro, my heart. Hamilton still going after Vettel. Didn't overtake. Verstappen, as we look down the grid, has overtaken Mick Schumacher, now in pursuit of the Haas. Leclerc struggling to overtake. Verstappen gets fastest lap yet again with the soft tires on. Russell pitted again. I didn't notice when he pitted again. He pitted again for softs. Daniel Ricciardo's soft tires not doing much for him. He's losing time to his teammate Lando Norris, who's on mediums. Leclerc probably ERS saving. Perez looking like he's finding his way again. Leclerc 0.7 seconds behind now. Spectacle of a race. Lando Norris 0.8 seconds behind Carlos Sainz. Lando looking very fast this race. I can't believe he's competing for a podium right now. If he gets the podium, that'll be amazing. DRS is enabled. Who would have known Norris is competing for a podium? Oh, he left DRS range. Sergio Perez with the fastest lap on the track. He did find his grips with his car. Leclerc is outside DRS range now. Sergio Perez with a 151.3. Very difficult track to overtake. As Leclerc pops this DRS, gets closer to Sergio Perez, 0.4 seconds behind him, doesn't go for the move. He literally needs like two tenths more and he can overtake. Hamilton still on pursuit behind Sebastian Vettel, as Sebastian Vettel is 0.7 seconds behind his teammate Lance Stroll. It's a battle for 6th place between Stroll, Vettel, and Hamilton. Vettel goes for the move on his teammate Lance Stroll. Oh no, they're lapping a car. I tripped. Hamilton right behind Vettel. Leclerc right behind Sergio Perez. "23 minutes left. 24 minutes left. Russell now 3 seconds behind Mick Schumacher. Completely 1 lap behind. He's had a howler as well. By the way, to everybody watching, after the race is over, I will be heading over to Twitch to stream some League of Legends. If you do enjoy that, and if you do enjoy this live stream, as Leclerc gets the fastest lap, closing in on Sergio Perez, I had to interrupt myself. This might be an overtake. Charles Leclerc with a 150.3, absolutely flying. Okay, he didn't overtake. Yeah. The link to my Twitch is in the description. I appreciate you if you hit me with a follow over there so you don't miss when I go live. That would be appreciated. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my main channel, which is also in the description. Now, back to the race. Leclerc still trying to overtake Perez. Finally got the fastest lap. 0.4 of a second behind. Gaining. Verstappen stealing the fastest lap. FIA saying there was a racing incident in turn 1. Verstappen with a 150 point... Wow, whopping 150.049. Reminding us he is fast on the soft slicks. Singapore being a very hot country, I'm surprised it rained this much. Ooh, big lockoff for Perez. Leclerc closing in. Is this going to cost him? Leclerc with the fastest sector 1. Leclerc with some oversteer at the exit. Norris looking like he's not going to overtake Sainz. This race has been going on for a while. They finish it in 15 minutes. Actually, no, it's a 2 hour 5 minute race. Makes sense. Bro, Charles Leclerc is too close. If he doesn't get P1, he's gonna be so pissed. He's gonna be way too pissed off. It's so sad too. But Sergio Perez is clearly the alpha driver. The alpha male, the top G. Driver of the day. Guys, it has to be Danny Rick. It has to be Danny Rick. He gained too much. I'm going to vote Danny Rick. F1.com/vote to vote for your driver of the day. I'm personally going for Danny Rick. He deserves it. I have to give it to him. Let's see what's happening with Man United versus Man City. Manchester Derby. Full time 6-3 to City. Foden, Holland with a hat trick. Classic. It's a double hat trick for Man City. Foden hat trick, Holland hat trick. Marshall with 2 goals, 84th minute, and a pen in the 91st. Wow. Man City absolutely just played with Man United like they were their children. That's crazy. You know what? As expected. What happened? What happened? I look up. Leclerc is 2.3 seconds behind Perez. What happened? Oh, he's now 4/10 behind. I think the stream glitched. 18 minutes left, 19 minutes left to the race. I was like, what? That doesn't make sense. I think my internet's bugging, that's why. Leclerc is probably going to these laps are his little laps, little window. He has a little window right now in order to overtake and make sure he keeps that P1 position, because his tires are going to start degrading. His tires are going to start losing traction. He's not going to be able to be as fast. So this is it, man. You have to go for it. DRS is enabled. Your laps are faster than Perez. It's just hard to overtake on Singapore. It's a very difficult track to overtake in. Mattia Binotto. Oh, that cost him a lot of time. The replay of Leclerc, a lot of understeer. His car just wouldn't turn. He's been having understeer on the entry, oversteer on the exit. Which, if anything, you want the opposite of that. Max Verstappen to Valtteri Bottas, chasing for the points. Striking distance in 2 laps. Leclerc now a second and a half behind Perez. Perez again with the fastest lap. It's been a battle for the first since lap 1. Wow. Leclerc is gaining 12 kph to 16 kph per lap because of the DRS. But he's not really making use of it, man. He's not really making use of it. Perez is struggling. Race ends in 16 minutes. Russell already overtook Schumacher. We didn't notice that. He's a minute and 42 behind Kevin Magnussen. Russell had a howler. His team putting him on mediums early on. That did him very dirty. Lots of cars out. As we said before, 6 cars DNF'd. Both Williams, both Alpines. This is George Russell's overtake on Mick Schumacher. Schumacher's defending like it's the race of his life. Crikey. Yeah, it's sad that Mick Schumacher has to compete for his seat. We'd love to see the Schumacher name continue on the grid. He's competing against Nico Hülkenberg, apparently, for the Haas seat. Gunther Steiner making a business decision. Nico Hülkenberg back in F1 would be nice, though. You know? Back, where was he? Was he in Renault? Yeah, he was Ricciardo's teammate in Renault. Big downgrade for him to go back down to Haas, but you know what? A seat in F1 is a seat in F1. So it's between him and Mick Schumacher, yeah. I hope Schumacher stays. I think he should fight for the seats that are open right now, but you know, it's safe to stay in Haas. It looks like he's already leaving. So he should fight for the bigger seats. Leclerc doesn't look like he's gaining. Still 1.5 seconds behind Perez. One mistake cost him the entire race right now, honestly. Every time I say that, he starts gaining. He's now 0.2 closer than before, 1.3. Perez gets the fastest sector 1 as Leclerc gets the fastest lap. Hamilton 1.1 behind Sebastian Vettel. Verstappen overtaking Valtteri Bottas, diving in on the inside. Now in the top 10, getting in the points. 1.1 seconds behind Pierre Gasly. Sergio Perez apparently is going to get investigated after the race involving car 11. Perez will be investigated after the race. Safety car infringement. Oh. Wait. This changes things. So that means Leclerc might still win this race, even if he finishes P2. Leclerc now 1.9 seconds behind Perez, 1.7. Fluctuating around that time, losing distance. Verstappen closing in on Gasly. Gonna overtake any second now. He's way too fast. DRS open. On the straight, flying by, on the inside, easy peasy. P9, 5.4 behind Hamilton. 12 minutes and a half left of the race. Will he catch up to Hamilton? That just shows how fast the Red Bull is, bro. It really does. The fact that he caught back up to Hamilton, that's crazy. Russell's still back there. And Verstappen is up here. P9 now. Aston Martin having a really good race. P6, P7. Last time they were really fast like this, it was in Hungary, where straight line speed wasn't as significant. So we're seeing a trend here. Aston Martin is really good if there's no straight line speed. Christian Horner saying there's no way Perez will get a penalty. What do you mean sometime tomorrow before dawn? So basically, we're not going to know who the winner of the race is until tomorrow? That's stupid. That's so stupid. I want to declare the winner like soon as the race is over. In 10 minutes. 11 minutes left. Leclerc still fastest lap. 2.2 seconds behind Perez now. Looking like Perez's race to lose. .3 seconds. That's too much space for Perez. Perez is now comfortable. Hamilton 1.3 behind Sebastian Vettel. Verstappen 2 seconds closed in between him and Hamilton. Now 3.1. Striking distance. $10 minutes and 30. 10 minutes, 30 seconds left. Perez being informed about his safety car infringement. I want to see Perez getting fastest lap again. With a 148.8. Today's fastest laps were starting off with 2 minutes and 5 seconds. The fact that they're now 148.8 is crazy. Oh, Perez is struggling, man. He's really struggling. His car is understeering, oversteering, anything other than good steering. It's happening with him. Purple sector 1 yet again. Perez is flying. Perez found his grips. Perez wants to make a 5-second gap between him and Leclerc so that even if he gets that penalty, it will be good. 3.2 seconds, 3.1 seconds between him and Leclerc right now. Russell switching. Oh, so Russell is here to take away the fastest lap from Perez. Put in soft slicks on Russell. How does that benefit them? So nobody's going to get a bonus point. Nice. So Russell's going to take fastest lap. And it's not going to count to his points because he's not in top 10. So they're just taking away a fastest lap from Red Bull for no reason. Because they gain nothing and Ferrari gains from that. Christian Horner's pissed. Another fastest lap. 148.5 by Sergio Perez. Wow. He's flying. But Russell's about to fly as well. A lot of cars right behind each other. Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, and Stroll. Very close. It's a battle for 6th place, honestly. 9th, 8th, and 7th and 6th are battling for 6th place. 6th place. Max Verstappen, 0.3 seconds behind Hamilton. Bro, this race, bro. Too many things happened. My head. Ugh. Verstappen flying in. Next DRS zone most probably will overtake. Hamilton now losing distance to Sebastian Vettel. There's a lot, bro. Too many things happen in this race, bro. This guy crashed here. The other guy crashed there. Too many things. Too many chains of events. Hamilton still ahead of Verstappen. 4/10 of a second. 5/10 of a second. Six minutes, 30 seconds left. Turn 14. Approaching turn 15. Verstappen still behind Hamilton. Bro, Verstappen can actually get P6 in 6 minutes. He can do it. He can get P6 in 6 minutes. It's so close. It's so close. Oh, I'm yawning so much. Verstappen, DRS open, going in. Is he going to dive bomb? Nope. It's because Hamilton has DRS too. Hamilton's DRS is helping him defend very well. I'm getting the chills. This is crazy. Verstappen versus Hamilton all over again. Hamilton sandwiched by Vettel and Verstappen. Battling right now for P7. Stroll kind of went away. Russell still not getting the fastest lap. Probably still warming up his tires. Three goats, bro. Three goats. Vettel, Hamilton, Verstappen. All fighting for P7. It really puts things into perspectives how fast the slowest car on the grid is. But Aston Martin has potential, bro. They're really just missing straight line speed. That's my conclusion. Singapore and Hungary, they've done so well. It's a shame. Let's hope next year they have a good car for Fernando Alonso. That'll be really nice. Vettel, 0.5 seconds behind Stroll. No, Hamilton 0.5 seconds behind Vettel. Verstappen 0.5 seconds behind Hamilton. DRS open. Hamilton closing in. Verstappen closing in. Still nothing happened. Russell finally getting purple sectors with his soft slicks. Purple sector 1. 3 minutes 50 seconds left of the race. Perez now 3.8 seconds ahead of Leclerc. Still not making that 5-second gap. Leclerc has 1.2 seconds not to lose. He cannot lose them if he wants to secure a possible P1 if the FIA decide. 4 seconds now. Three minutes 20. George Russell gets fastest lap with a 146.45. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about it that way. Russell's pretty close in the leader in the what's his face. Russell's pretty close in the drivers' championship for P2. So it's a fight between Russell, Leclerc, and Perez, but it's mainly between Leclerc and Perez as we speak. But Russell isn't too far behind, so him taking that fastest lap, I guess, takes away that point from Perez. That's 25 points for Perez, bro. That's crazy. 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Hamilton still behind Vettel. Verstappen still behind Hamilton. Verstappen on the softs. Will he make it work as 2 minutes are approaching? DRS open for both Max and Lewis. Sebastian in the front, still defending. Very hard track to overtake. Are we going to see an overtake by one of them? Is Verstappen going to somehow make it to P7? As we're approaching 1 minute and 50 seconds. First car went out within the first 6 laps. Zhou Guanyu. Due to Nicholas Latifi not leaving any space. Hamilton going for a move on the outside and it does not work. 1 minute, 35 seconds. Oh, Hamilton locks up, trying to go down the inside. Verstappen overtakes Hamilton. Verstappen now P8, Hamilton P9. They switch. Hamilton now 1.3 behind. He's had a howler. Verstappen 0.5 seconds behind Vettel. Is he going to make it? Is he going to get P7 before 1 minute? 1 minute, 15 seconds left. Verstappen started 8th. Yeah. A lot of things happened, and now he's eventually coming back to finish in 8th. 50 seconds left. Let's see. Can Vettel hold off Verstappen? The defending world champion against the 4-time world champion. Leclerc 6 seconds behind Perez. Couldn't stay within the 5-second limit. Tremendous pace by Sergio Perez. As we're hitting 25 seconds left. Sergio Perez securing the dub no matter what happens. No matter what penalty he gets. He will get that W. Congratulations to Sergio Perez. If he wins it. If he doesn't bin it within the next 15 seconds. Sector 3. 4 tenths behind Vettel. Verstappen closing in. Zero seconds. The race is over. I think we're on the last lap. Ricciardo P5. What a crazy race for him. Lando Norris P4. Lovely for McLaren. Good way to go for Ricciardo. It's not his last race, but it's one of them. Verstappen is messing up. I don't think he's going to be able to overtake Vettel. But we shall see. So far the grid. Perez in the Red Bull, P1. Both Ferraris, P2, P3 with Leclerc and Sainz. Both McLarens right behind them in the third row. Norris, Ricciardo. And then both Aston Martins, we're seeing the teams combined here in P6 and 7 with Stroll and Vettel. And Verstappen is very close to Vettel. As they say, this is the final lap. Let us see. Will Verstappen be able to take Vettel? Will Leclerc catch up to Perez within 5 seconds? 7.6 seconds now. Perez really has to mess up for Leclerc to have a chance of winning. George Russell still maintaining the fastest lap, looking like he's going to be stripping the point away from Perez and Leclerc. Turn 11 on the final lap. Sergio Perez, 2022, won the Monaco Grand Prix. Going into one of the final corners. Perez with a dominating performance, holding that P1 from the first lap, first corner, overtaking Leclerc from the first corner of the first lap. Sebastian Vettel, oh my God, Verstappen takes over, takes over, same thing, ends it with a P7. Lovely overtake. Sergio Perez finishing at P1. Lovely race by Sergio Perez, 2022 Singapore Grand Prix winner. Lovely race for Perez. Leclerc finishes it in P2. Sainz P3 potentially. What a race. What a race. Perez with a dominating performance from turn 1 of lap 1. Overtaking and keeping that lead. Dominating performance by Sergio Perez. I'm glad we got that prediction right. I got every other prediction wrong, but I got Perez P1 completely right. I'm happy with it. Lando Norris finishes in 4th and Ricciardo right behind him. That's it. Yeah, that's his best finish of the season. P5 for Daniel Ricciardo. I did vote him for driver of the day, but Perez also deserves it. He got 22% of the vote. Driver of the day. Lovely. Lovely. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. Sergio Perez. Let's go over the standings. Sergio Perez, P1. Charles Leclerc, P2. Wait, they took it off. Woohoo! I'm hearing the radio between them. Look, this is Max Verstappen's overtake against Sebastian Vettel. What a crazy overtake. Last lap, absolutely last lap, with the DRS helping him to go through. Lovely stuff. Sergio Perez in P1, Leclerc in P2, Carlos Sainz in P3, Lando Norris in P4, Daniel Ricciardo in P5. Lovely, lovely top 5. Yo, cheers, Dan Rye. Thank you, bro. Take care, man. Have a good one. Thank you for stopping by and thank you for the subscription, buddy. I appreciate it. I'm going to head off. I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to go stream on Twitch very, very, very soon. I'm going to be playing League. If you'd like to, head over. The link is in the description. My main channel is also in the description. But nevertheless, thank you for watching. Thank you, Dan Rye, for stopping by. Thank you, Sedge, for stopping by. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you soon.